Hello and welcome to Modern Movement Online. This is a 30-minute flow and it is really just designed to get into all corners of the body. It's an easy little sequence that anyone can do at any time. So if you are limited with I guess the amount of time you have to jump onto your mat and you want to just get into the corners of your body, clear out the corners of your mind, then this is perfect. We're going to get straight into it. So please start in downward facing dog. If you have a block, pop it by the top of your mat. If you don't, not to worry. And as you make your way into this first shape, listen to your body, and if you need a few little movements, then please take them. You might like to come forward, find a plank to establish the length of your dog. You don't have to. You might like to just bend into the knees, breathe into the backs of the thighs. Movement is for you. What would feel good if you were to let yourself feel? Spread your fingers, spread your toes. Then take a deep breath in and a long breath out. And then you'll walk your feet to your hands, one by one. When you reach the top, find a flat back inhale. Hands could come to shins. Exhale, bow the head, empty the breath. Halfway lift. Again, open the heart. Exhale, draw navel to spine. Flat back. Shoulders draw away from the ears as you exhale. Lift your sitting bones to the ceiling. Then keep the chin tucked. Roll on up the body. Arms circle high to the sky, and you'll bring your hands to prayer. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, hands through prayer. As you get to heart, spin your fingertips to face down, tuck the chin, and dive back to earth, rolling through the vertebrae. Halfway lift. Step back to a high plank. Now lengthen your tailbone to your heels. Lift into the space between the shoulder blades. And keeping the hips level here, take your right foot and just lift it in line with the hip. Set your eyes to one point somewhere just in front of your hands, and then come to your left fingertips. Keeping your pelvis level, maybe reach the left arm forward. Notice the tendency to hold the breath. Take an inhale. Replace the left hand, replace the right foot. Navel to spine, recenter. Hover the left foot this time. Eyes still to find your focus. Come up onto the right fingertips. And when you feel steady, really reach the right arm forward. Send energy to the edges of the shape. Allow yourself to wobble. Stabilize. Come back to your plank. Shift forward, lower all the way down, then press into the tops of the feet. Elbows over wrists as you rise through cobra. Exhale, forehead to earth. Press into hands and knees. Sit back on your heels. Brow center touches down, you'll inhale, and then exhale, down dog. Lift the heels. Bend the knees, look forward, step to the hands this time. Halfway rise, Ardha Uttanasana, exhale, fold. Work with whole breaths. Rise up. Recenter, hands to prayer. Inhale, lift back of the heart. Hands through prayer. Again, you'll turn the fingertips to face down, round through the shoulders, the upper back. Dive to the mat, halfway lift. Keep the back of the neck long. Step to your high plank. Drop your heels over to the left. Pause. Pull the heart through the upper arms. Lift the hips a little higher. Take a breath into the left side body. Exhale, heels up. Pivot them to the right. Keep the arms straight and strong. Lift the hips, breathe in. Lift the heels. Shift forward, tips of the toes, lower halfway. Come to the tops of the feet, up dog or cobra. Downward facing dog. Wrist creases face forward. Heels turn out just slightly. If the backs of the legs are tight, you can take your stance, make it a little wider. Then lift your hips away from your hands. Take a breath in and a breath out. If you know you want to jump forward, big toes to touch, lift the heels. Bend the knees, look to the top. Step or float to the hands, halfway rise. Exhale, bow the head. Start to lift yourself up, come to stand. Urdhva Hastasana, arms reach, hands to prayer. Samastitihi, standing in perfect balance. Inhale, feel that Kundalini rising. As you build energy and heat, fold forward. Halfway lift, open the chest. Step to a plank or jump to Chaturanga, low plank, up dog. Down dog on the exhale. Inhale, right leg to sky. Exhale, tiger curl, knee to navel. Look forward. Step between the hands. Now, look to the back foot, take it a little wider, toe heel it down on a 45-degree angle, and rise up, warrior one. Exhale, go a little deeper. Front knee is perfectly aligned over the ankle. And you roll the inner left thigh back, square the hips. Good, take a breath in. Exhale, go a little deeper. Interlace the hands behind you, then puff up into the chest. Cinch the shoulder blades together and bow forward, humble warrior. See if you can keep the right shoulder off of the knee. Hug the right hip to the midline. Let go of the weight of your head, of your thoughts. Send your grip overhead, rinse the shoulders, take an inhale. And then exhale, send your grip to your lower back. Pull the heart forward, land the left hand down under the left shoulder. Come to the ball of the back foot. Then take your right arm, reach it forward and up, easy twist. Pause as the wrist stacks over the shoulder. Pull the crown away from the heel. And breathe into the back of the lungs. Now drop the back heel over so you're on the outer edge of the left foot. Step the right foot back, Vashisthasana side plank. To modify here, simply drop the left knee, left shin to earth. Tailbone draws back. Lower ribs hug in. Take a breath. High plank as you exhale. Inhale to come to your planche. Shift forward, lower halfway. Up dog, back of the neck stays long. Down dog pulls the hips to sky. Take a moment to find your foundations here. Ground your energy. And then let the breath cue the movement. Inhale, left leg rises, the whole breath to find the highest point. Exhale, tiger curl. Heel toe the foot down if you can, then toe heel the back foot. Virabhadrasana 1, warrior 1, you rise up. Exhale to get nice and deep in the pose. Move your right lung forward, anchor through the tailbone. And if you can, bring the upper arms in line with the ears. Find your drishti, your gaze point. Take a breath in. Exhale, interlace the hands behind you, opposite thumb on top. Lift the sternum, lift the gaze. Bow forward, humble warrior, without letting the left hip swing out. Look to the back heel, lift the arch of the right foot. Like you're trying to get the crown of the head to move all the way down to the mat. Send your hands all the way to the top of the room. Take a breath in. Then find length through the spine. Right hand grounds, back heel lifts. Easy twist. You circle the arm up. Let the left hip descend. Back thigh ignites. Reach for the ceiling. Breathe in. Come to the outer edge of the right foot. Vashisthasana, feet stacked, toes flex. Lift the hips. Remember, drop that right knee if you need to. Spread the shoulder blades apart. Take a breath in. High plank. Shift forward, low plank for the whole exhale. Upward dog to downward dog. Broaden the upper back, wrap the inner thighs toward the wall behind you. Then hug the outer hips in. We're coming to the top of the mat. So again, if you wish, big toes to touch. Inhale, lift the heels, bend the knees, look forward. Step or float to the hands, halfway rise. Exhale, fold. Stand tall, arms reach. Prayer lands at heart. You might step back just an inch or two, then drop the hips, Utkatasana, chair pose. Exhale, come nice and deep into the experience. Firm the outer thighs in. Palms turn up just slightly. Then relax the shoulders and the jaw, go deeper. Lift the toes. Spread them over the earth. And take an inhale. Exhale, fold. Halfway lift. Either come down to Malasana, a yogic squat for a moment, hands to prayer, or if you have a little more energy in the tank, Bakasana, crow pose. Hands come down, shoulder width distance, knees find the upper arms. They rest on the triceps there, and you pull the heart forward, grip into the fingertips. Maybe that right heel lifts toward the sitting bone, maybe the left heel. Eventually, 2 feet float up. Keep the hips high. Squeeze the heels in, take a breath. And wherever you are, Malasana or crow pose, you're going to step back to a plank. If you're in crow, you might jump back to chaturanga or a belly flop, and then find your way to down dog. The journey will look a little different each time you step onto your mat, and that's okay. Right leg extends. Knee to navel. Step it through. Arrowhead lunge. Hands float back. Chin tucks it in. You'll feel the weight shift into the front foot. And then with the next breath, stork pose. Left knee comes up. Arms to the sky. You'll take your right hand to your outer left knee and your left arm behind you for an open twist. Encircle the ribs around the spine. You might take your right hand to the outer edge of the left foot now. Extend it toward the front of the room. And it might be almost extended. Breathe into the edge of sensation. This left hip needs to move down slightly as you hug the inner thighs together. Now, if your knee is bent, start to outstretch the leg. If you've got the foot here, just release your grip. So we're here together, leg extended, arms reaching in opposite directions. You'll sweep the left leg past the earth, half moon. The right fingertips are coming down. Got the same shape in the body. You can use your block under your hand here or just hover your fingertips, connect to your core. Flex the left toes. Good, take a breath in. Then step the left foot to the back of the mat, warrior two.
Flip the front palm, inhale, reverse, eyes to the sky. And then you'll circle that right hand back by your outer right hip. The left arm reaches up and over. You'll lift the left heel. So you're in this variation now of arrowhead. Feel the weight in your front foot. Now you're going to take your left knee and land it at the outside of the right ankle as slowly as you can. Left arm goes up, and you'll hook the elbow at the outer right thigh for a twist. Lift the crown, gaze over the back shoulder. You can bring your right hand nice and close to your sacrum and let the arm support an upright spine. Breathe into the side ribs. Take one more breath. And then release the twist. Lean back. Cross the right shin in front of the left. Hands will come down. You could either just sweep the legs back, step to a high plank or a down dog, or as the palms land, lift the hips, send the legs back. And you're just practicing these different ways to move around your mat. Enjoying, exploring the way in which you weave the practice together. There is no one way to get to where you're going. Inhale, left leg extends. Exhale, knee to navel. Step it through. Arrowhead lunge, pull navel to spine. Squeeze of that left glute, palms face down. Eyes just in front of the mat. Now with your next breath, stork pose, bring the right knee up, arms reach by the ears. Catch that right knee with your left hand and open into the twist. Right hand reaches back. Let your drishti, your gaze, just fall off the tip of your nose. If you would like to deepen the stretch in the right hamstring, take your left hand to the outer edge of the foot. Play with extending it. Pull the crown of the head up. Really spread your wings. Now, if you've got the foot, just release it, but keep the shape. If the knee is bent, you start to extend just to where you can. Keep this shape as it is. Just take that right leg behind you and let the left hand move down toward the earth. Keep your right ankle in line with your right hip. Make the foot active. Don't worry if you fall out. Come straight back into the shape. An expansive breath in. And you'll land the right foot back of the mat slowly. Find your warrior two. Spread the webbing of the fingers. Go a little deeper in the legs and flip, reverse, eyes up, sideways long. And then the arms, they sweep up and over. The right arm reaches forward as you pop onto the ball of the right foot. Then we're coming down for our seated twist. So feel the weight in your left foot, land the right knee outside of the heel, then the sitting bone's inside of the right heel. The right arm is already where it needs to be. Keep that length in the spine as you hook the elbow or cradle the knee. And with each exhale, wring out the body. Release any stale or stagnant energy to find that vibrancy within. We cultivate tapas, some fire within our practice to burn through what's no longer needed. Take one more breath. Then exhale, unwind the twist. Lean back, outstretch the legs, arms to sky. Exhale, fold, Paschimottanasana. Pull the heart forward to lengthen. Hinge deeper at the hips to fold. Take a breath in. And then roll up the spine. Let's take one more forward fold. Soles of the feet together. Loop the hands over the toes. And then for just a moment, lean back into the shoulder blades. And you'll feel a nice stretch across the upper back. Rise through the crown, lengthen the spine, and this time fold forward. Keep the length in the spine. Breathe into the inner thighs. And then come up. Soles of the feet ground down. Inner hip width distance apart. You'll reach forward and roll toward the earth. As the head lands, walk the heels in a little closer. And then with your next inhale, curl the hips up. Setu Bandhasana, bridge pose. Walk the shoulder blades in, interlace the hands, then lengthen the tailbone to the backs of the knees. Lift your heart toward the sky. Inner thighs roll down. Set your drishti, find your breath. Take one more inhale. And then exhale, roll through the mid-back. Unlock the hands, land the sacrum. Take your arms into a T. Hip shift just slightly to the right. Shin bones parallel to the earth. Drop the knees to the left. Your head might fall over that right shoulder. You'll take a few breaths into the side body. And a final rinse here. Deep breath into the belly. And as you empty, draw the navel in, lift the knees up. Place the feet down for a moment, and then lift the hips, take them an inch or two to the left. Hover the shins, keeping the knees in line with the pelvis. They drop over to the right. You'll turn your head. Keep the shoulders heavy, eyes might close. And you'll receive a few breaths here. Full inhale. All the way to empty. Knees come up. Reset the hips if you need to. In line with the shoulders, you'll take a happy baby. Cup the hands over the shins or reach for the feet. Stack the ankles over the knees. A little sway from side to side. And you'll just think of this as a reset. So as you're ready to start your day, or to release the day that has been, you can practice this at any time, awakening into the dormant areas of the body, freeing some tension, creating space, body and mind. When you feel ready, when your body cues you, just release your feet from here and take 2 or 3 minutes rest. Let your bones rest heavy, heart space open, mind quiet. Shavasana. You'll begin to bring back a deeper breath. Enlivening the body with some small movement. You might step your feet onto the earth, feel that support, or wrap your knees up. Turning to one side, leaving behind anything that is no longer needed. You will come up to a comfortable seat, cross-legged or kneeling. And feeling hopefully somewhat rejuvenated. Take a moment to touch your palms together at heart in honor of your time, your efforts. Raise thumb tips to the brow center, the seat of intuition. May this guide you on your path forward. Together we bow and say namaste. And I thank you so much for joining me.